On a freezing December morning, as temperatures dropped to 11 degrees, 24 supporters gathered outside the Manhattan courthouse. Inside, Luigi Mangione appears unshaven and visibly stressed, wearing a maroon sweater and khakis. His attorney, Karen Friedman Agnifilo, rises to speak. "My client's rights are being violated. He's being prejudiced by statements made by government officials." From TalcoCast Studios, this is Delay Denied Depose. I'm Jonny Llama. Today, we examine how one murder case became a legal battle that could redefine the boundaries between state and federal prosecution. Mangione faces an unprecedented legal battle. 11 state charges including terrorism, 4 federal charges that could bring the death penalty, and 5 pending charges in Pennsylvania. But legal experts are calling this a dangerous overreach. Lara Uretzian, a Los Angeles-based criminal defense attorney who has been following the case.
"I just don't see a jury convicting him of first-degree murder committed in furtherance of terrorism. The enormous public support could not have been anticipated. This could backfire on the prosecution."
The prosecution's case presents a puzzling contradiction. State prosecutors claim this was terrorism meant to influence a group. Federal prosecutors argue it was about stalking an individual. As Karen Friedman Agnifilo points out, these are completely different theories. "I've never encountered anything like this in my 30 years of legal practice," she said. "This is highly unusual."
The second thing I want to make a record of, Your Honor, is I'm very concerned about my client's right to a fair trial in this case. He's being prejudiced by some statements that are being made by government officials. Like every other defendant, he is entitled to a presumption of innocence. But unfortunately, the way this has been handled so far, his rights are being violated. And as you know, Your Honor, there's a wealth of case law guaranteeing his right to a fair trial.
Defense attorney Linda Kenny Baden believes that the terrorism charge is a stretch and that Luigi was only trying to get revenge for what the insurance companies had done to the little person. The state alleges Mangione killed Thompson to intimidate or coerce a group of people. The federal case claims he stalked an individual. As his attorney points out, these theories seem to conflict.
They have conflicting theories in their indictments, and they are literally treating him like he is like some sort of political fodder, like some sort of spectacle.
However, Llama Ramani, a former federal prosecutor, explains that this isn't your typical terrorism case. It supports the argument that Mangione is being treated differently because he killed a CEO instead of an ordinary victim. Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg claims this was a killing intended to evoke terror, but his own evidence tells a different story. Mangione's notebook expressed hostility toward the health insurance industry and wealthy executives, not the general public. Under New York law, first-degree murder charges typically require special circumstances, like killing a police officer or murder involving torture. The terrorism charge here represents an unprecedented expansion. As far as the evidence goes, prosecutors point to surveillance footage, a matching firearm, and perhaps most damaging, Mangione's own words. His notebook, found during arrest, contained an August 15th entry. The details are finally coming together. The target is insurance because it checks every box. Karen Friedman Agnifilo, Mangione's attorney, immediately challenged the theatrical nature of his transport to New York. What was the New York City mayor doing at this press conference? "That is utterly political," she declared. "The New York City mayor should know more than anyone the presumption of innocence." Meanwhile, his defense fund has topped $100,000, and supporters continue gathering outside courthouses across jurisdictions. Next time on Delay, Deny, Depose, as preliminary hearings begin in both state and federal courts, legal experts question whether prosecutors have overreached. With the death penalty now on the table, can the government prove this was terrorism when growing public support suggests it may have been something else entirely?